Welcome back to another quick review. What do you know? If you can hear from the sounds, I'm outside again, as usual. Today, we are talking about Trails in the Sky First Chapter, the remake of The Legend of Heroes Trails in the Sky FC. Or as I like to call this remake, Joy and Whimsy, the video game. Oh my god, it's so good, man. It's so good. As an individual who has played the original Trails of the Sky, who has played all of the Trails games up to this point, even Trails Beyond Horizon, Japanese version, when it was Kaino Kaseki, I was naturally very excited for this game. This game wasn't the game that got me into Trails overall, that was Trails of Cold Steel, but it's a game that I still very much enjoyed, all things considered. So, of course, when I heard this got a remake, I missed the Nintendo Direct, unfortunately, that day. It was the worst thing in the world. But when I heard that this was getting a remake, I was naturally over the moon. And I'm happy to say that this remake is so good. It executes on everything. And funnily enough, I actually prefer this game, this remake, over the original. Though some Trails fans will call that, sacrilege, blasphemy. But it is genuinely how I feel about it, because for me, one of the things that kind of hurts the original Sky game, and I love that game, but the original Sky game is my least favorite Trails game, and one of the reasons why is the pacing of that game. The pacing is so slow. It's horribly slow. I've always said that if I had started Trails with Sky FC and not Cold Steel 1, I'm not sure if I would be a Trails fan. Cold Steel 1's pacing isn't much better. It's not that much better, but I still think it's better enough that it got me into the series. Sky FC's pacing is so slow at times that it does make it a little bit tough to get through for at times. I think this game just makes that so much better. This game is longer, but for whatever reason, it feels like it moves faster. Whether because of modern graphics, voice acting, remastered music, expanded cutscenes, whatever, I feel like this game takes the original Sky's story and pacing and somehow elevates it to a new level, to the point where I had no issue. I was never bored playing it. Obviously, the story is great. I'm not going to touch too much on the story as a whole, just because if I did, I'd want to talk about Trails in the Sky SC, which I don't want to do because, even though both of these games are close to 20 years old, or close to 20 years old at this point, there are still new people hopping in to the franchise, and so I don't want to ruin that for them. But just know that the story is pretty much the same. It's pretty. It's accurate. All the quests are back. You got some new things in there. Some new side quests. Some new new like tiny areas. But overall, the game is the same Trails in the Sky that and love story wise. One of the things that you do see people complain about, however, is the script, and how they changed a little bit of it. I don't think that takes away from the game. One thing you have to understand, especially with the Exceed localizations, the original Trails of the Sky trilogy, as well as the first two Cold Steel games, are hilarious. Those games are funny. Those games are incredibly funny. But I do understand to it in a sense why they changed some of the lines in this remake, and I don't think that really takes away at all from me personally. For other people it might. I'm not gonna get on the localization and English dub freaks out there that hate all that stuff. That's not me. I don't care as long as the game is good, right? I'll be okay with it. So yeah, that doesn't bother me all that much. And I think moving on, another point that I really want to talk about, gameplay. So one thing that this game does is it takes the gameplay system of the original Sky, obviously the turn-based system, as well as brings in aspects from later games, like, Brave Orders, whether it be Chain, Burst, all that stuff, follow-ups from the Cold Steel games, as well as action combat from the Daybreak games, specifically Kaino Kaseki, or Trails Beyond the Horizon. The action combat is way more refined in that game, in Kaino Kaseki, compared to the first two Daybreak games, and it's even more refined in this game, which also gets me excited for Kai 2. That just makes me more excited for Kai 2, and that's going to be awesome. It's even more refined than those, and I think for the Sky games, it fits really well. Not much has changed, in regards to quartz and arts. It is essentially just porting everything that we know and love from the original game into the modern day, which kind of goes for the entirety of this game. It ports everything that we know and love into the modern day. Another thing that I absolutely adore about this game, before I touch on one other thing, is the art style. And I guess if I'm talking about this, I can touch on that other thing, and that's the graphics. Art style and graphics, right? This game is beautiful. It's by far, and I say this as somebody who loves Trails Beyond the Horizon, right? It's my second favorite Trails game, right behind Cold Steel 3. This game is beautiful. Its art style is amazing. One of my complaints in these Trails games, especially during the Cold Steel saga, the Cold Steel games, is that it feels like the art style kind of took a back seat in those games. Obviously it's still there, but it's not as prevalent as they were in, the original Trails of the Sky, and then, the crossbow duology and whatnot. But you can definitely see it in this game, whether it be from the UI, the menus, how things behave in battle. It is beautiful, and it helps that the graphics are so good. It's such a nice looking game. It's the best looking Trails game for sure. Everything runs smoothly. I played the Nintendo Switch edition, the Nintendo Switch 2 edition, sorry. And there was, other than, a couple of frame inconsistencies when the game first came out, that slowly went away over time. I had zero issues with this game graphically, and then the art style, I think it's just much improved. So yeah, this game, it gets I'm saying, as much as I'm praising it, I'm saying this game gets a 9 out of 10 for me because I've already gone on the record to say the original Sky game is not my favorite Trails game, and the story-wise, it's still the same. So I still have my bits and issues with it from the original game, but I've made a quick review on that already, or not a quick review, but a Trails ranking where I talk about that video. I talk about that game, so go watch that if you want my thoughts on the original game and my issues with its story and whatnot. So this game is still a strong 9 out of 10. I would still highly recommend you go play it. It's so good. It's everything that I wanted out of a Trails of the Sky remake. And yeah, if anything, this game just makes me excited for Trails of the Sky SC, which is a top 3 Trails game for me. My top 3 Trails games are Cold Steel 3, Beyond the Horizon, Sky SC. I think all of those are a 10 out of 10 or higher. Genuinely just phenomenal. So if anything, it just makes me more excited for Trails of the Sky SC's remake, which will eventually come because it kind of has to. So yeah, that's it for today's quick review. I shall be back. Thank you for watching. See ya. Bye. Go play Trails.